Hello guys, welcome back to Pause and welcome back to World Discovery. This is part 19 of our Epcot World Showcase style park here in Planet Coaster. So yeah, it's only been a few days since the last one, and to be honest, I think I've got my spark back. I couldn't wait to get back into the park and carry on building in our German area. So before we get into today's video, don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel to stay up to date to all of our content, if you haven't done so already, that is. And also don't forget you can have a chat to us on our Twitter and Discord, links are down below. And if you fancy helping us out, head over to the Discord server, head over to the Patreon, link is down below. I can't get my words out today. Anyway, so let's get on to today's video. So we are carrying on with our German area. And the first thing you can see going in just here is a clock tower. Now obviously my idea for this area is to have a kind of little plaza, little central hub, sort of a little township kind of area, and what town is complete without a clock tower. Or at least in my head anyway. So that's what we put in first of all, and also some accompanying buildings that go just behind this to sort of cap off this little corner. And I think it turns out quite nice. I've put a few more tiny little touches on the building from the last episode, just a few little towers, as I think these really fit the theme quite nicely. As sort of German, the kind of German architecture that I'm going for in this is very fantasy. But it kind of works, and it's the sort of classic kind of fairy tale kind of vision that I'm going for here, which I think does suit quite well. And checking out a few reference images and stuff, it definitely seems like it's the kind of style that would fit in this park, which is what we've gone for. So yeah, your standard sort of clock tower, a few little custom pieces here and there, a few little fairy tale towers. Again, I think they work quite well. So yeah, we put that in. The other thing that we do in this episode a little bit later on, we actually put in a tiny little stage. I say tiny, it's quite big for the game. I mean, Planko scale is massive. But yeah, we do put in a stage. Sort of the opposite side of this, basically, directly opposite. The other side of the sort of central hub. In terms of the game, it will house a Bavarian band that will play numerous times a day. And what we actually put on the stage, a couple of chairs, a few sort of speakers, lighting, and just some dudes who are fiddling around with the speakers. You'll see later on. Obviously we don't have a proper band animatronic in the game. Well, we have the pirate one, but I don't think that really fits. So yeah, I want to sort of start bringing in that idea of live entertainment as well. For anyone who's been to Epcot or this kind of park, each country will have some kind of act that kind of represents their culture. And I think actually this idea might have been nicked from Epcot, I'll be completely honest. Somewhere in my head, I've seen a Bavarian band playing in a German area, and I can only think it must be Epcot. But I'm not 100% sure. But that's where I got the idea from for this. But then other things, something at Epcot you might have, like the ones I remember in either China or Tokyo, you had these kind of like drummers in front of a big pagoda. Not pagoda, is that the right word? I don't know, whatever the word is. And then like in I think Canada, they had like a Canadian rock band, I think, little things like that. So I want to try and introduce that kind of idea of bringing in live entertainment into this build. So far we haven't really done that, and it is a big part of these style parks. So yeah, that's the first one we do today. Like I say, you'll see that build in a little bit later on. This building that I'm doing just here behind the clock tower, at the moment it is just a facade, just a shell, just like the building we did last time. I haven't introduced any shops or restaurants or anything like that just yet in this area. My worry with this park is I don't want to overdo it with the shops and restaurants and cause too many bottlenecks. So certain areas we might leave as just facades. Maybe one or two shops or something in there, but generally I don't want to cram too much in, as I have put a lot in so far. In terms of like shops and restaurants and little things. I mean, we are going to keep up the theme of that. What I'm talking about is the actual in-game kiosks that guests can buy stuff from. I just don't want to overfill it. what we need to do is, once we've got a little bit more building done, maybe a couple more countries, it might be worth getting this park open and just see how the guest flow is. But that's something for down the line. It's still very early days. So anywho, yeah, I'm actually really excited that I've managed to get my kind of spark back, because I did mention a few episodes ago I sort of had a little issue with like a creative block where I just didn't really have any ideas coming into the game. But this sort of German area has actually really spurred me on. I'm hoping I'm getting the kind of feel right, and I hope you guys are understanding the sort of vision I'm going for. Again, as I mentioned last time, if anybody has any ideas who are a little bit better with the sort of architecture and that kind of stuff, let me know. Please give me some pointers. I'd love to make sure I get this sort of as spot on as I can. But I'm trying to sort of use the Bavarian pieces and a few, like I say, fairy tale bits and pieces and wood and that kind of stuff to try and just make it seem as German as I can, which is what I see in my head. Whether that's what it actually is in the real world, I'm not sure. And again, I'm sorry if it isn't, but I'm trying my best. So yeah, let me know some ideas. I'd love to read them and hear your thoughts. On the back of that, a few of the comments from the last one. Obviously, we were talking about the transport ride. I still haven't done anything with that yet. I'm still sort of pondering what to do. A few people have said, well, actually somebody said, if we are going to do a boat ride on the lake, why not incorporate a kind of cave or indoor section to it to give it something else, a bit of substance. And you know what, that's not actually a bad idea. Whether we tie it into one of the countries, possibly. But yeah, I actually quite like the idea of bringing it, giving it a more of a purpose than just a transport ride. Obviously, I'm not 100% saying we're going with that, but I do quite like that idea. So thank you to whoever it was who suggested that. We might go with it, but yeah, I'm not deciding too much on the sort of transport side of things just yet. We've still got time to delve into that. But yeah, keep your comments coming in. I'd love to hear them. Baz had a really good comment saying he loved the fact that I've used the Professor Worst as a kind of sponsor. It's not something I really thought of before, but I think it suits quite well, and it might be something we bring into a few of the other areas in the park, possibly, as we get around. Not all of them. I don't want to sort of flood it with sponsorship, but I do quite like the idea of just having a tie-in that's not just putting down loads of shops and restaurants. And I think that was the issue I was having before, which is why I was sort of saying about the creative block kind of thing. I was getting into a routine where I was just trying to think of the next country to do, and it was becoming very much for the videos, which I didn't want this park to become. So that's why I didn't make anything in here for a couple of weeks, because I didn't want to just come in for the sake of coming in and putting out a video. I can do that with the Let's Play stuff that no one watches. So that's where they're the sort of throwaway videos. These I wanted there to be some kind of quality to them, and I hope that comes across. I really do. I am honestly trying my hardest with this build. It might not seem like it. I know there's far better builders out there than me, but I'm trying to put in more time and effort and just enjoy it a lot more. And that was what I was struggling with towards the end of the sort of France build. But coming in here now to Germany, like I said, I am getting that sort of spark back, and I'm really excited, and I'm loving how it's something coming together so far. And I hope you guys enjoy and like it and sort of think it's okay. I mean, I don't know. Let me know. Let me know what you think. And you can sort of see the angle I'm going for now from this kind of view. That these buildings will sort of encompass this sort of circle area. And like I said before, I kind of want it to feel like that kind of central hub, as like a little village. And that's what we're going for with this country. As I did mention briefly last time, it is quite a small space we're working with, so I want to sort of fill it with quite big buildings to at least give it a bit of depth. So that's the plan. So here I'm just starting work on the stage that I mentioned earlier. Again, trying to use some different kind of pieces that I've never really used before. Like both of these pieces so far, I don't think I've ever used. So I thought I'll just try something different that kind of still fits with the Bavarian kind of fantasy fairy tale theme that I'm going for. And with this being a stage, it can be a bit more fantastical than the normal buildings. I had a few issues with the roof, couldn't quite figure out what I wanted to do with it. And then in a few minutes you'll see I found a really nice piece that I've never used, because it's not the fantasy sort of set is not something I've ever played with ever. But yeah, there's some really nice pieces in there actually that I've never found a use for, including some of these little window pieces and this thing. I don't know, I've never seen it, never used it, didn't even know it was in the game, but I think it works quite well as a sort of bit of theming on a stage. Obviously it's just a facade, there wouldn't be a window there, it's not a building, but I think it fits. And again, these tiny little window things, I have never used them. Like, hold my hands up, I didn't know they were in the game. I swear, I've never even seen them before. But there they are, and I think it turned out quite nice. Very simple, but I didn't want it to be anything too spectacular. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to try and get this idea of live music and sort of stages and things in there. It's hard to represent it in the game because we don't have many pieces of sort of animatronics, NPCs, whatever you want to call them. There aren't that many that we can pick from. There's only so many sort of idle folk you can stick around. Obviously if we were doing like a pirate area, fantastic, but for stuff that's a bit more realistic, there's not that much to pick from. So yeah, that's what I've gone for. The idea, like I said, is a 4-piece Bavarian band. There might be someone on I don't even know the names of them. Them big like curly trumpet looking things, like a massive, it's like a, I don't know, you're blowing it makes a kind of noise, I don't know, whatever they're called. Imagine that. Someone, or maybe an accordion. Is that German? I don't know, I'm so rubbish at this sort of thing. And then yeah, wearing like lederhosen, and you can picture it. I'm sure you can picture what I'm going for. But representing that in this game is ridiculously difficult, and I am nowhere near A, good enough, and B, got the patience to try and make something in the tool makers, theme makers toolkit thing, which I am still trying not to use. While there's still plagued with issues and lag and all sorts of stuff with that, so I'm trying not to use many pieces from it. If you are wondering why I'm not really delved into that yet, that's the reason. I mean, you might see a few bits here and there on in the game, but I've not had anything new for months, because I don't really want to risk it in this park, because I mean, this build today was about 2 hours, maybe a little bit longer, and I didn't actually save throughout the whole thing, which is, I know it's bad, but I always forget. So if it did crash halfway through this build, I would have been gutted. I've been quite lucky really with the crashes. I've only really had 2 big ones, neither in this park. They were in my movie studios park that we did last year. I had a couple of bad crashes in that one, and I think I could only put it down to the low frame rates because I opened that park, and because I always had guests walking around. I think it was just too much for my PC to handle. I mean, it's a relatively new, it's a very new build, my PC, but they can only take so much, and it's not the highest of the high end of all kind of gaming PCs, no matter that, nowhere near. So yeah, they just give up now and again. But it's handling it quite well so far. But when we do start opening the park for guests, I don't think I will keep them in. I think we'll open it, see what the flow's like, make any adjustments, and then kick them out while we carry on building, because it's not worth the risk. There's no point, because it's just going to end in tears. And like I say, I want to put in a lot of effort in here, so yeah, there's no point ruining it for no reason. Few little benches to give the impression of a little seating area. We might put in one of those what they call vista points around, just so people will sort of look and stare, and again, it will just give the impression that there's something going on. But it's so hard to do that with these stage shows in this game, because like I've said before, there's nothing you can really do, but I can try my best. So I hope you can understand what angle I'm going for. A little path here, maybe for the staff. That'll be how to get to the thing, I guess. I don't know. But hey, anyway, here's some little slow-mo shots around the stuff we've done today, to hopefully show it off a little bit better. And like I say, please let me know your thoughts and let me know what you think and about the area and all the stuff we've done so far. And any suggestions, please do let me know. I also just want to give a massive shout out to my 2 new Patreons that have joined over the last couple of days. Thank you ever so much, honestly, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. It means the absolute world to me, and I promise I am planning to do some amazing stuff with the Patreons. So and we may even see some kind of presence in this park at some point. More details soon. I'm still trying to work something out, but yeah, I'm hopefully planning to get something in this park to sort of thanks and honour everybody who has gone on the Patreon. On the back of that, if you would like to support the channel, get your name at the end of the videos and maybe get your name in this park somewhere, please do head over to the Patreon page, patreon.com/pausegames, where you can pledge $1 or $3 per month to help out the channel. I would honestly appreciate it so much. And again, massive thank you to the guys who have already done that. Honestly, it means the world. I'm so grateful for the support, and also thank you just to everybody for watching and commenting, liking, all that kind of stuff. I swear it means so much. Anyway guys, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, don't forget to give us a like, subscribe, comment, like, all that kind of stuff, and all the things I mentioned at the start. I'm not going to go into it again, but it's all down below in the description. Cheers guys, see you in the next one. Bye.